go way back to my teenage days. And you know what? I always knew there was a God, but I never had a relationship with Jesus. I knew that you could pray, but I never really felt his love or his presence in my life. So Steve, he came into my life and he had this incredible encounter with the Lord. I just never seen anybody experience that. And I had been praying for him because he wasn't a Christian, but nor was I, but I didn't think I needed prayer. I knew he did. He was like, you know, a bad dude. And I kind of tried to stay on the straight and narrow. So I was like, okay, you know, do I really need God in my life? I don't know. I was doing my best to be a good girl, doing, you know, what I thought was right. And here comes Steve. And you could tell he wasn't trying to do anything right. He was just flying, doing whatever he could to survive. You heard a bit of his testimony, so you know the background that he came out of. Anyway, we got together amazingly in our before Christ days, and the relationship was not good. It was one of those Jesus help us. We were sinners, definitely, all the way. So my sister actually was the one who was born again first in my family. And I didn't see this amazing change in her life because I didn't think she really needed God either. But we started praying for Steve. She knew Steve, and we started praying for Steve. And we broke up. And in the time that we broke up, Steve gave his heart to the Lord. And I thought, you know what? If there is a way that we could get back, I knew it was if the Lord could touch Steve's heart. And the Lord did that amazingly. He picked up the phone one day and he called me. We had not spoken or seen each other for about 6 months. And the Lord said to Steve, call Amy. He was looking for a wife. And the Lord said to him, he said to the Lord, if I could get back with Amy and know that she's my wife. And the Lord said to him, just do it. Pick up the phone. And when Steve broke up with a girl, there was no chance of ever getting back together. It was an absolute miracle that we did. But he picked up the phone in obedience to the Lord, and he called me. That day that we got back together, it's really hard to describe. It's so hard to describe the presence of God. Stephen, his whole demeanor had changed when I saw him walking up to me after not seeing him for such a long time. I could literally see the presence of the Lord on him like a light all around him. Not everybody needs that, but for me, I needed a tangible, because I was kind of a doubting person, you know. The Lord met me where I was at. When Steve walked in, it was just an incredible presence of the Lord. And I looked at him and I said, what did you do? I mean, his face was like just a light of God. When he was such an angry, horrible, demon-possessed person before that, and God changed him miraculously, incredibly, delivered him from alcohol, anger, resentment, bitterness, I mean, everything. God did an incredible job. You know, when Steve got born again, the community changed because he had such a bad reputation. His brother and him would fight all the time. They would drink all the time. They would be in bars, and the police would be there. You know, the McCrory brothers were just known. You stay away from them, which is why I didn't want to have anything to do with him in the beginning. And I knew he needed God. I really did. So here, I'm like, well, just engulfed in this incredible presence of God. We walked that night on the streets of Durban, and South Africa, stars out in the sky. We were walking along, and Stephen didn't have to say much to me because it was just the incredible presence of God. But I said, while we were walking that night, 18 years of age, I fell on my knees in the middle of the street. I said, thank you, Jesus. I need you so desperately. You know what? It doesn't matter if you've got a bad reputation or if you're a good girl. We all need Jesus, right? And he did it for me that night because I called upon his name. I said, Father, thank you for sending your son to die for me. Even though I didn't think I needed you, you did it for me. And he can do it for you. Wherever you are in your life right now. You know what? You don't even have to be seeking you. He's just there. He's just loving, kind, generous Father who gave his son for you. And Stephen led me to the Lord that day. But God met me. He met me where I was at. And I'm so